Alrighty. Hello again, everybody.
Hello.
We're gonna act like Minecraft didn't just crash 2 seconds before us filming this.
Yeah, right after announcing, it's like, oh, we finally episode 2, and then the computer was just like, nope, Degenerate Corner doesn't have episodes 2,
Yeah,
and it just fucking crashed.
I was about to say this is the second episode 2. Well, probably gonna be the first episode 2. What we're continuing next, I guess you'll have to see later on once I get it done. But yeah, I can't believe this, an actual episode 2 going on the channel. Now,
Woo!
yeah, woohoo! In the first episode, I did promise actually that this time. Oh, I did not know that. Okay, so it turns out in this version. Okay, it turns out in this version of Minecraft, you actually can't turn logs sideways.
Oh,
Huh.
shit.
Oh, very good. Okay. But anyway, in the last episode, I actually mentioned about how in episode 2, there's probably going to be some, like, retail horror stories. Because do you remember that, Ethan? Like, we were talking about, like, the guy throwing the saw and all that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I ended it off
Yeah,
with... What?
I don't have any really horror stories about working. Mine was pretty chill.
Fair enough. Thankfully. And mine...
Yeah, all I did was, like, go behind a fucking, like, counter. I did deli work.
Yeah, I unfortunately have had many run-ins with the worst half of the general public, we'll call it. God, I don't even know where to begin talking about them all. Okay, first one that comes to mind. I had this guy. Like, God, I think it was like my first month working there, so it was a while ago now. This was like the first of like the major what the hell is happening people I've had, right? This guy goes into my till, and keep in mind, by this point in time, I relatively don't know what I'm doing. You know, I thought I was doing pretty good, but looking back, you know, obviously, no, I barely knew what I was at. But this guy goes into my till, and he just, I don't know, he has this, like, aura about him. Like, there's something, like, evil afoot, like some kind of, like, cartoon villain. But...
Yeah, you could sense it.
Yeah, he comes on, he kind of got, like, that walking pattern. It's kind of weird. Unless you've seen it, like, in person, like, if you work retail and if you have similar experiences, you know what I'm talking about. They got that walking pattern to them. It's like a video game NPC almost. But
the undeniable swag of an asshole.
Yes, actually! I could not have said it better myself, Ethan. That's actually perfect. So he kind of jumps onto the till, right? And, you know, I say hello, you know, good morning and all that. And he goes, looks like there's nobody in line. That's good. And I'm like, what is happening? But, you know, I just kind of...
Whips out penis.
Whips out, yeah. But, yeah, no, I was like, okay,
Looks like there's no one in line. Whip.
I was like, yeah, you know, this is a little bit of a weird way to start up a conversation. You know, maybe his tone was just off, you know? Maybe he's tone deaf. I don't know, right? So, I text him in and whatever, and it's all normal. And then he goes, or then I go, you know, hey, you know, cash, debit, or credit, are you paying? And he goes, credit. Actually, you know what? Cash. I'm going to delay the system. And I was just like, what? But he goes,
What the fuck?
have I not told you about this guy?
No, you haven't told me. I haven't heard a lot of your stories, honestly, about retail. Either that or forget them.
Oh, fair enough. But yeah, he goes, yeah, cash. I'm going to delay the system. And I remember thinking to myself, there's nobody in line. What do you mean delay the system? And anyways, he pulls up cash, he starts counting them. And again, he got that, like, he showed that swagger of, like, being a brat. And he was like, I don't know, it's weird, man. It's weird to put it into words. But
that is so weird.
But
I'm gonna delay the system. Like
just
he's
wait
like
till you hear
making
what
a
it was he meant by
demonstration
that.
of something.
You've heard nothing. wait till you hear what he meant by that. So, he's there counting cash and whatever. And then, you know, obviously I gotta double count it because, you know, cashier. It's my job. I gotta make sure, I'm not giving this guy more or less than what he paid. Typical run-of-the-mill cashier stuff. And then that's when he looks at me, and out of nowhere, he got like the smug, like anime protagonist grin. That's the best way I can describe it. This entire thing felt like I was talking to like an anime protagonist. And he looks at me and he goes, the banks are all gonna fail one day. And I kind of pause. Because I'm sitting here, like, register open, middle of taking the money out, and I'm just like, what? He's like, yeah. He's like, don't you know? The big man downstairs, Lucifer, he runs the banks. And one day, God's gonna catch them. And I was just like, what?
Oh.
Brother,
Whenever somebody, like, brings up religion...
I was like, brother, I've been working here for a month. What are you talking about? And this next thing he said to me, the next couple things he said to me are stuff that I vividly remember. Ethan can speak for me on this. I have a hard time memorizing things, especially like faces and like visual things. But this one thing he said to me, I still hear it in my head to this day, the exact same way he said it. He looked at me and he was just like, you should try using cash for a couple days. It will change your life. And I was like, sure, yeah, I'll think about it. And I was just like, please leave, please leave, please leave, please leave. This is the weirdest conversation I've ever had in my life. Please leave, please leave, please leave. And anyways, that's when he goes, I guess kind of my response kind of like set him off a little bit. Because he didn't like scrunch his mouth up or anything, but he just kind of had that look of like smug Redditor, is the best way I can describe it. Like,
oh yeah.
He had like that look on his face where like he knew he was right, and you're just a little pleb who doesn't know anything. And then he looks at me and he goes, "Where will you be when the banks fall, debit user?" And I was just like,
"Debit user."
That's what he said to me. That is what he
debit user.
Word for word, what that man has said to me. I stood there, genuinely flabbergasted. There's no word to describe just how like
debit user
back I was.
Oh my god, I want to start using that as an insult now. Oh my god, that is perfect. Oh my god.
And then he just takes his receipt and gives me like a little nod and goes, "You think about it, you think about it." And then he walks away, and I was just like, did I actually just have a real life GTA 5 Strangers and Freaks encounter? What just happened, man?
Oh my god. I'm just can't get over the fact that he used debit user like a fucking insult.
He did! Man, I don't even know how to comprehend that. I was like, not even an hour into my shift in like my first month. I was not mentally ready for that.
That is honestly, that would be a cherished memory for me.
It is. Trust me, it
debit
is.
user.
Like, he said it was so much visceral hate. Like, oh my god, like, you are the debit user. Oh my
banks.
god.
The banks will fail.
Yeah, Satan's running the banks.
Probably at some point.
Yeah, nothing's going to last forever. But, like, okay, good for you, I guess. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Go ahead.
That is, like, the perfect, like, conspiracy theory Redditor, like, actually, probably more like a Facebook Redditor.
A Facebook Redditor. I never thought I'd ever hear such two unholy words said next to each other. But yeah.
It's like, he gets his conspiracy theories from Facebook and then posts them on.
And then posts them on Reddit, yeah.
He is the pipeline.
He is, and I was just like, I genuinely cannot put into words just how, like, starstruck I was at this.
Starstruck. Oh my god. Like,
such an
the admiration that you felt for that man.
I can't believe this. I never thought about it that way. I was a little debit user before now.
Try using cash only.
Such a weird thing to say.
Like, what is it supposed to make me feel?
I don't know. That's the worst part of it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Well, you haven't tried it. You have to go cash only. It'll change your life.
Apparently so. I don't know if like cash is just laced with like some kind of hallucinogen or something. I don't know. But oh
It's
my
covered in bacteria from the amount of people handling it, and probably gotten his brain.
god, fair enough. Oh man, people still give me weird looks to this day. But I keep a bottle of hand sanitizer up at the tail 24/7. Call me weird if you want, but I've handled
It makes
cash.
sense.
Listen, I've handled cash with literal, and I don't mean this as like a joke. I mean this like genuine. What I said, feces stains on it. That you just have to like,
and our fucking money is made of plastic.
I know it was that baked onto it. Like you have it in your hands. You're like, oh my god, this smells like death. And like the entire
Like what?
register,
Like our money is made of fucking like film now. Like
and like it just
how do you
what,
stain something?
I don't know. I don't understand it. And like the entire register would just reek for like a day after. I was like, oh my god. Somebody can grab my out of here. Gosh, I'm gonna start drooping from how stank this is.
I just imagine just like an old like nice grandma like paying with cash, like shakily handing a dollar bill to you. You opening the fucking cash register and her just dropping dead from the smell.
Also,
Oh, Sonny.
Also, I need to clarify. This is coming from me. You can ask Ethan. My sense of smell barely exists. Like it genuinely.
Yeah, he got nose damage.
Yeah, I actually do have genuine nose damage that inhibits my smell abilities, and even I was able to smell it. Unfortunately, just as if, oh man, it was putrid. Yeah, actually,
That's hilarious.
Actually, another one that I brought up there in the last video. There's this one guy who came in, and again, this is back when we still used paper tags. Now, I was getting off at like 6 o'clock, and this guy, usually what they do is, they let us go 10 minutes early if you're a cashier. They let you go 10 minutes early because you got to count your own tail, so that gives you time to count your tail and all that, and get out on time, right? So,
Yeah.
I'm off at 6, and I was just about to get going when customer service is, okay, Zach, go ahead and service last customer, then you can get going. So, already I was like, fine, whatever, it's only gonna be one guy, he only got like, one item with him, yeah, it's gonna be fine, whatever. So he comes on up, and I'm not rushing him per se, but I'm just kind of like, come on, hey, how you doing, cash debit or credits, yep, yep, that's great, yeah. Just trying to, because I'm like, man, in my mind, I'm at home. I'm tired. Or no, sorry, I got off at 5. because something else I'll talk about later. But I got off at 5 that day, and by this point it was like 4:50, and I was just like, man, I want to go home. In my mind, I'm home. I'm playing Minecraft. I'm just not here right now. So, I check him in and whatever, and he bought this. I don't know what it was. It was like a car oil thing. I don't know. It was like a 2-in-1 car oil thing. One side was oil, the other side was something else. I don't know what it was. I don't know automotive stuff. I am sorry. If there's any car fanatics watching this, I am sorry to you. But yeah, like I don't know. He bought
I
something.
think you work at like an automotive shop.
What?
Good thing you work at like a department store where they have to sell that shit.
Oh yeah. But yeah, so.
But yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. So he comes on in, and he got this thing for his vehicle, and it's just like, hey, cash, debit, or credit, whatever. And then he kind of pauses, he looks at the screen, and goes, that's not right. And I'm just like, oh my god. Like, at that point in time, I could just feel my soul leaving my body. Because, like, now I gotta do the whole price check thing, yada yada, whatever. I need so-and-so to come here. And it was just like, man, I just want to go home. I want to go home. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here regularly, let alone when I'm supposed to be off in like a few minutes, right? So,
yeah.
Anyways, that's when I look at the time and I realize, wait a minute, the remaining staff up on the floor are currently in, basically, like around this time of the day, they kind of have like what's called an evening huddle. But they basically do the morning huddle, but in the evening for the people who weren't there in the morning. It's basically just like,
Yeah.
yeah, we made however many dollars yesterday. You are getting none of it, but it makes me happy, so it's gonna make all of you happy,
I
right?
hate those meetings. I
I
hate those
know.
meetings so much.
This literally
Because it's
just
just like, yeah, we made this much money, and I'm like, I gotta go make chicken.
you're really. What do you mean
Like,
we? Stop
I don't
speaking
care.
French. No, there's no we in this. It's you.
Yeah, the store made that much money. I get to fucking make 15, 60 an hour.
Yeah, exactly, right? But anyway, so they're in the back going through that song and dance, and I'm just like, oh my god, okay, you know what, fine. I want to go home. So, I will just do this price check myself. So I look at customer service and I'm like, hey, guys, I'm going to be gone to do this price check. They're in doing the meeting, whatever, yada, yada. And they're like, okay, Zach, go ahead and whatever. So I didn't notice at the time because keep in mind, again, I'm at home. In my head, I'm at home. So I didn't notice the fact that he was walking with that jerk, bravado, that style, that pizzazz he was walking with. So I was just like, again, I was just like, it is a regular standard price check, whatever happens, happens. And I go to, again, and then also this is back when we were using paper tags, so it was a while ago now. And, anyways, it was one of the things that was left in, the center of the aisle. Basically, it was done by, the promotions team. It was their job to handle it, whatever. So I go on over, and I'm like, I look at the tag, and keep in mind now, it was a 79 cents. I will remember the exact numbers. It was a 79-cent decrease because it was regular price of $5.79 and it was on sale for $5 even. I will remember that so long as I live. And he points at the tag and goes, see? It's still up right here. And I look at the tag, and I don't know how many of you people have watched the last video, but when a tag is expired, in our part of the country, we do not have to honor it. And in fact, the management tells us to not honor it under any circumstance. Unless it's a long story. I can't even get into it, to be honest with you. But basically, we couldn't honor it. So I was like, oh, yeah, sorry, that was a tag that was left up, But since it's expired, we can't honor it. Promo team should have taken it down. There's nothing I can do for you. And that's when he gives me, the hardest glare I've ever seen. He goes, well, if you want to start shit, come on, we'll start it right now. Come on, fist fight me right now. And he starts, banging his chest like a gorilla.
Oh.
And I look at him and I go, but again, by this point, it didn't really process what was happening. Because, again, I'm at home.
Yeah, you're checked out at this point.
Oh, yeah, I was mentally checked out. I was not here. And I was not processing what he was saying. So, all I heard was, angry customer, not my job. I was like, okay, you know what? I looked at him and I was like, customer service will answer to you. I put the item on, I put the tag on customer service desk. Okay, boys, I'm going home. Bye. And I walked away. And it was only when I was walking back to my till that it truly hit me. And I was like, this guy just tried
You want to start shit, bro?
Yeah, and I was like, just hit me. I was like, this guy just tried to fist fight me over 79 cents.
79 cents.
Beating his chest like a gorilla. Like King Kong beating his chest. Over 70. I would, again, genuinely just flabbergasted. There's no other word. I was like, what just happened? So anyways, I went in and I told the general manager, and I was like, hey, this just happened. They're like, okay, don't worry, we'll deal with it. They didn't.
Yeah,
Full stop, they didn't. And,
at that point, I would have just gotten out of there.
Oh,
you want to start something, bro?
Yeah, he went
over 79 cents.
79 cents. I don't even know what to say about that. 79 cents. What are you going to do with that 79 cents that is apparently so valuable to you?
Risk being in jail.
Really, though? Is 79 cents really worth going to jail over?
Some people don't realize that, minimum wage workers are just following protocol most of the time.
Exactly.
It's nothing they do is personally against you. It's literally just I can't do that. I'm sorry. That's
Actually,
it. That is full stop.
Speaking of personal, this is something I've Oh man, this is one of the ones that just makes me chuckle nowadays. Again, going back to the case of, what we do is not personal. We are, again, following protocol. We have rules. We follow them. We don't care. If it was up to us, we would not stop you. Go do whatever you want, right? But this guy comes up to my toe, and he's buying, like, rubber boots. And I think wellies, they're called in the UK. No, I'm not making that up. I think they're generally called wellies in the UK. But, yeah, he was buying a pair of those, and he comes into tail, and basically when it comes to like anything like footwear related, or like especially clothing, but I find especially footwear, there's a lot of like security tags on those, because obviously you can just take off your current boots and wear them out. So they got a security tag in the heel of them. We just got to rub it across the deactivator. Like I'd say 90% of stores currently have, if you live in Canada and the US,
yeah.
I'd say like most stores you go into probably have them. Okay, yeah, okay. If you notice a little cut in the video just then, turns out that I just ran out of disk space. So that's great. But you can continue on what we were saying. If you've been to like any major like store like Walmart, or I imagine Target, we don't have a Target here where we live, but I imagine Target as well, stores like that, they got deactivation pads where, magnetized strip, you rub it across the deactivator. If you don't do that, it beeps in the way of, beep, 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 beep. Yeah, one of those. There's one of those inside the heels of a lot of footwear, so that people don't just wear them out. Oh yeah. So, naturally, when this guy came up to my tail, apparently, I just remembered another story from this guy I'll have to get back to after this one, but this guy is actually like a reoccurring character in like the anime arc that is my workplace. Like a lot of people know him because of just how absolutely crazy he is. But yeah, this guy comes up and oh hang on, let me just put them down there. There we go. And he's, like I said, buying the pair of boots, and he comes up to my toe, and I check him in. And after I check him in, I take the boots and obviously, rub them across the deactivation pad, because again, we have to, or else when he goes on the way out, beep, 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 right? So I go ahead and do that for him, and that's when he kind of stops. He goes, "What you just do there? What do you do that? Why are you doing the rubbies?" I was just like,
"The rubbies?
What did you just say?" By this point, you think...
Why you do the rubbies?
Yeah, but by this point, you think I'd kind of be used to the fact that people just kind of make up words out of nowhere. But no, apparently I'm not. So he goes, "Yeah, you heard me. What'd you do that for? The rubbies. I don't understand that. What'd you do that for?" And I was just like, "Because there's a I need to deactivate the boots, or else you're going to beat on the way up the door." And that's the kind of goes like, "Oh, okay." And he kind of like smirks. He goes, "Oh, huh." Again, like an anime protagonist, right?
Is the like a regular thing?
Yes, it is.
Like the
Honest to God, it actually is.
That is funny. It's like a red flag, like a.
It is. Oh man.
And then immediately sets off a red flag.
If any retail workers listening to this right now, if you hear that like that, get out of Dodge. Flee the country. Get out of there. You are in like harm's way. So, anyways, he does a little and then, anyways, I just kind of continue because I'm like, if I don't interact with you, maybe you'll shut up for the rest of the time I have to see you. It's kind of like the T-Rex, from like Jurassic Park. Don't move. They can't see you if you don't move. So, anyways, I just go ahead and continue on with it. And that's when he leans over to what I thought was his wife. I'll get back to who she really is in a second. Because after I heard this, it kind of took me by surprise, and I nearly lost my soul. But anyways, he looks over at who I'm going to call his wife and says, "See that, honey? He's working for the government. He just put tracking devices in those shoes." And he kind of like whispered it to her. And then I actually...
So did you?
Yes, I did. Yes. Okay. He figured me out. I work for Trudeau. But I genuinely froze, and I looked at him. Again, this is the only time I've ever actually talk to a customer about their complete and utter whatever you want to call this. But I looked at him and I was like,
That was a mistake.
it was.
That
I was like,
was your biggest mistake.
I was like, what did you just say? Like, I actually said that because I was like, I'm just so absolutely, like, he took me so off guard. I didn't know what to say. I was like, I'm sorry, what did you just say? And he goes, yeah, you heard me. I was like working for Trudeau. And I was just like, I'm sorry? He goes, yeah, I bet you are. And then he takes the boots and just walks out. I'm just like, what
Oh my
just
god,
happened?
all of these people sound like trolls. Like, they sound like a fucking actual, like, joke.
They do! Like, honest to God, they sound like NPCs. But the thing is, this isn't the first time we've had a run-in with this guy. He's been there before.
Oh.
And so remember how I mentioned he had a wife who I thought was his wife?
Yeah.
Turns out that's not his wife. That is his mother,
Oh, really?
whom he called Honey. In a very
Calling
loving
your
way.
mother honey, yeah.
In a very lovey way. Like, I'm just saying, Alabama.
That makes sense. He's inbred.
But yeah, so apparently, this happened to one of the other departments, sports. I know the guy who actually served him. You don't know him, Ethan, but I know the guy who served him. He's very much like an easygoing kind of guy. He's just there. You laugh, carrying on with him, whatever. Anyways, he comes up to this guy, or no, actually, he came up to me first. Because he was asking me questions about, like, outdoor stove burners, propane burners that you take for camping and stuff like that. Now, I don't know anything about that stuff. I'm a YouTuber, I spend all my time inside. I don't ever go inside.
You're a YouTuber.
Yeah, I'm a YouTuber. No, but, actually, I don't know anything about that kind of stuff, so I was like, okay, just wait right here. I'll call someone for the department down. So I call someone for the department down, and, we're just kind of doing, I'm just going ahead and doing whatever on the floor. And then, like, a few minutes later, I see the guy come back again, who, for sake of not saying his actual name, I'll just go ahead and call him, like, Ash. I'll call him Ash. Ash comes out, and he looks like he just saw, like, a ghost. Like, he is, like, wide-eyed, stunned. He don't know what planet he's on. And he looks at me, and he goes, Zach, what thing did you just have me see to? And I just goes, what are you talking about? What happened? And he was like, you heard what I said. What was that? And I was like, the customer? And he's like, that wasn't a customer. I don't know what that was. I was like, okay, back up. What happened? So he looks at me and goes, okay, so first he started asking questions about, the outdoor stove burner. Like, he was asking me, right? Specifically, and I try to remember exactly how it all went down, but basically, the guy wanted a propane stovetop that you can carry around for camping because he believes that on that day, Satan has returned to Earth and he is promising 7 years worth of peace on Earth. After 3 years, he's going to break that vow and the world is going to be plunged into post-apocalyptic, like, hellfire. And at that point, you're going to have to survive on your own for the next 4 years until God's judgment. And he was getting this propane stove burner so that we can survive out in the radiated wilderness.
Oh my god. That person is probably a schizophrenic.
I don't know, man. It's just,
If I were to guess.
It's just another one of those things that are just like,
If I were to hazard a guess.
Like, oh my god, like, what? How do we... I don't know, man. It's just one of those, like... What do I even say about it?
It's, well, one, that guy probably needs to be put in some sort of mental health hospital. And also, it's, maybe it's true.
Maybe it's true.
Maybe we should start. Like, maybe he's also Jesus Christ himself, and we need to start following his word.
Actually, I had someone claim to me that they were Jesus, and that their word was gospel.
Yeah, that's Messiah syndrome. or whatever, a messiah complex.
But yeah, I guess moral of the story is be careful if you're dealing with the general public, because for some reason some of them are just completely, what's the word? I don't think there's
Mentally ill.
Fair enough. Yes, sometimes you just get a colorful character once in a while. But you know what's funny? When I first started there, one of my coworkers, she looked at me and said, "Oh, it is your first job, right?" And I was like, yeah, I've never had a job before. I'm just fresh out of high school, yada yada yada." And she's like, "Oh, okay. Be careful in the general public. You're gonna meet some weird characters here." And when she said that, I was like, "Huh, okay. That probably just means you're gonna see some like silly people." And now that I've got many years worth of experience, I know that no, not silly people, just people who probably would stab you with a knife.
Yeah, or claim that they were God, or predict the end of the world.
Or some combination thereof,
I like now
actually.
Yeah, and now I have a new word to call you, debit user. Which I will be calling you a debit user from now on.
We should just start calling people that, like in our friend group. Just no explanation. Just
yeah, that's perfect.
You just say, "Oh my god, you're such a debit user."
Yeah, whatever, you fucking debit user.
Yeah,
what do you work for Trudeau? Why are you doing the rubbies, huh? Are you working for Trudeau?
God, that one.
The rubbies. The fucking rubbies.
But yeah, this has been Retail Tales. I really hope you enjoyed hearing about all the crazy stuff that goes on behind the counter of retail. Oh man,
there are a bunch of sirens going on outside my window.
Do you hear God, that? It's the end of the world. He was right.
He was right.
It's like the end.
Fuck! It's the 3 years of hellfire or whatever. Oh god.
Oh my god! It's just like in Far Cry 5. He was right.
I think we should call it there for an episode.
Definitely, yeah. Well, we hope you all enjoyed. It was definitely a lot more.
You definitely have some entertaining stories, I gotta say.
Oh man,
perfect for this kind of video.
I could just list them off, like. Well, I guess I just kind of did actually.
Well, you gotta save for another episode.
Yeah, we'll definitely save it for another time. In any case, we hope you enjoyed.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching, and have a great day.